Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Stuttarasita Shishimati Divine Grace Esi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Stuttarasita Shishimati Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Guru Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridasa Kaur Ki Jai Prem to Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopal Gopinath Shyama Kund Radha Kunda Giri Garavardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Mathura Dham Ki Jai Navadu Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai Ganges Mai Ki Jai Tulasi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samavesha Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Nitai Gauda Premanandi. All glorious assembled devotees. All glorious assembled devotees. All glorious assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru Shri Gauranga. Namo Vishnu Padya Krishna Pristaya Bhutala Shrimati Bhakti Tirtha Shanti Master Krishna Parashitana Shri Gaura Karana Sakti Bhakti Tirtha. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Divim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashta Prayesha Badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tamasluke Bhakti Bhavati Nashtigi Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Jnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunvitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manodvisham Saftandena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Kadaki Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Tapadakam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Gunatan Vitam Tam Sajivan Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagano Lalita Sri Visakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinavandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Prakamchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhan Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vanchakal Patarubhyascha Kripa Sundivyaye Vacha Patitana Pavaribhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Cantará Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Ekadasi Vrat ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 21. Explanation of the Vedic parts. We will continue from text 5. Bhumyambu Anganyandi Lakasa Bhumyambu Agni Anikalaksha Nilakasha Bhutanam Panchadhatava Bhutanam Panchadhatava Abrahmastavaradinam Abrahmastavaradinam Sarira Atma Samyutaha Sarira Atma Samyutaha Bhumyam Agni Anilakasha Bhutanam Panchadhatava Abrahmastavaradinam Sarira Atma Samyuta
Bhutanam Panchadhatava Abrahmastavaradinam Sharira Atma Samyuta
Mataji.
Bhumyam Vagyanilakasha
Bhumyam Vagyanilakasha
Bhutanam Panchadhatava
Bhutanam Panchadhatava Abrahmastavaradinam
Sharira Atma Samyutaha
Sarira Atma Samyutaha Bhumi, earth, Ambu, water, Agni, fire, Anila, air, Akasaha, sky or ether, Bhutanam, of all conditioned souls, Pancha, the five, Dattva, basic elements, Brahma, from Lord Brahma, Stavara Adinam, down to the non-moving creatures, Sarira, used for the construction of the material bodies, Atma, to the Supreme Soul, Samyuta, equally related. Translation and the purport. Earth, water, air. Earth, water, fire, air, and ether are the five basic elements that constitute the bodies of all conditioned souls, from Lord Brahma himself down to the non-moving creatures. These elements all emanate from the one personality of Godhead. Purport. All material bodies are composed of different proportions of the same 5 gross elements, which emanate from the one personality of Godhead and cover the living entities, who are all in the Jiva category. The concept of good and bad depends on the choice of the Supreme Lord and not on inherent qualitative differences in material objects. A Krishna conscious person ultimately sees all material phenomena as one. The devotee's good behavior, intelligent discrimination, and artistic sense within the material world are all based on the will of God. The material element, being emanations from the Supreme Lord, are ultimately all non-different. However, advocates of mundane piety fear that if the material duality of good and bad is minimized, people will become immoral or anarchistic. Certainly, the impersonal and atheistic philosophy preached by modern scientists, in which material variety is reduced to mere mathematical descriptions of molecular and atomic particles, leads to immoral society. Although both material science and Vedic knowledge uncover the illusion of material variety and reveal the ultimate oneness of all material energy, only the devotees of Lord Krishna are surrendered to the supreme absolute piety of God's will. Thus, they always act for the benefit of all living entities, accepting material variety in the Lord's service, according to the Lord's desire. Without Krishna consciousness or God consciousness, people cannot understand the absolute position of spiritual goodness. Instead, they artificially try to construct a civilization based on interdependent self-interest on the material platform. Such a foolish arrangement easily collapses, as evidenced by widespread social conflict and chaos in the modern age. All members of a civilized society must accept the absolute authority of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then social peace and harmony will not rest on the flimsy relative platform of mundane piety and sin. Yes. Pancha Dattavaha. Pancha Dattavaha. 5 Pancha B Mahabhuta. Pancha, the 5 gross elements. Is the primary ingredient for material transactions. All material activities are based on these elements. Our material body is made from this. The whole universe is made of this. Even the tiniest ant's body, it is made of this, the same thing. Not different. Lord Brahma has the duty to put it in different shape. Small, big, medium, whatever. But all are the same ingredients. And it is said here that they came from Krishna. It's Krishna's material element. They all put together. We'll be looking at bad and good since yesterday. What is bad? What is good? What is auspicious? Today, Ekadasi, people are going to distribute grains for people. Many people are going to be given grains in the name of piety. This is piety. So, what is the piety here? For the person who is doing it, that is his consideration. I'm feeding poor people who have less privilege. I'm doing good thing. But looking at it carefully, how good is giving someone grains on the Ekadasi? It is very, very dangerous, very risky. So one should learn what is good and what is bad from Krishna. On our own, we cannot understand what is good, what is bad. So dangerous to give grains to someone on Ekadasi day. Because Ekadasi is the day Lord Krishna has selected, and to be 2 months out of the 30 days, Krishna selected 2 days as a chance for us to get at the material world. Therefore, grains will not be eaten because that is the abode of sin personified. Sin personified lives in the grains. Therefore, it is dangerous for one to eat grains on the Ekadasi day. But this day, people, from morning till night, they're going to feed people, thousands of people with grains, varieties of grains. But it is not piety, it is impious activity, because people are sent to hell by this. The concept of good and bad depends on the choice of the Supreme Lord and not on inherent qualitative differences in material objects. A Krishna conscious person ultimately sees all material phenomena as one. They are all innate matter. Of course, they are Krishna's property, but they are all inanimate. And they can be animated only by the presence of spirit soul. So, the devotee's good behavior, intelligent discrimination, and artistic sense within the material world are all based on the will of Krishna, because a devotee is directed by Krishna. So a devotee can apply things which doesn't look nice, materially speaking, in Krishna consciousness. Because the understanding of devotee is that everything belongs to Krishna and everything should be used in Krishna's pleasure, everything. So there is no question of rejecting anything. Rejecting anything is ignorance, because what does it belong? Whom does those things belong to? A Krishna has created them, so it's good for him. A person may not drink gasoline, right? He may not drink gasoline, although it is liquid. He may not drink it because, well, it is bad. It is bad for the body. But the gasoline has a purpose for the universe. That is why Krishna put it in the soil. that we can take it in a different way. How do we take gasoline in a good way? How do we take it in a good way?
Transport.
Not transport. Transport is demonic. Transport is a demonic way. How do you take gasoline in a good way?
Candles, like earlier they were using kerosene for candles, and some lubricants are also prepared from that.
All dangerous. All dangerous. Bullock cart doesn't use grease. Bullock cart doesn't use grease, right? Grease, all the gasoline, all of them are demonic. The best way we can use gasoline is that it will fertilize the soil for farming. We get the food from the ground. So it's not be taken away from the ground. That is how nature arranged for it. Taking it from ground is yaksha activity, a demonic activity. The universe becomes depleted, it fell down. If it is there, it will help us to fertilize the soil for farming. I remember very clearly, you cannot completely harvest my father's crops because it's so much. You harvest and leave some and continue. The same soil. You plant something there, you don't get as before. What has happened? Our demonic activity in using Krishna's energy. Fuel. And if people were not dying as fast as today, right? At least somebody died once a time, but today,
Anytime.
nothing.
Every time, every moment.
Car accident, how many? 10 people died once, 50 people died once, so many. So this is a misuse of Christian property. Devotees have proper understanding about this. Of course, today, devotee cannot tell people don't use car. You can't say that. Who will listen to you? Nobody will listen to you. Right? You'll be in trouble if you sell it, because you interfere in people's demonic way of making money. Yeah, so it is prestigious to make automobile. It's prestigious. It is advancement of civilization. But it is demonic activity because it is a misuse of Krishna's material element, which he has properly put in place for our benefit. Those days, the utensils for cooking were collected from Barona, from the river, not from factory. They were all pure. From the rivers you get all these things. They are pure. Diamond, gold, all of these things, you don't have to dig down to get them. They will all float on the surface of the earth. Even till today in Nigeria, there are some places where you get all these special stones.
Yes.
They are floating in the water base. You can pick all of them. But these days you have to dig down to go and collect the oils and pollute the whole atmosphere. It's a misuse. It's a misuse. The material element being emanation from the Supreme Lord are ultimately all non-different. Because they are all non-different because they are all material. They are all material nature qualities. Yes. However, advocates of mundane piety fear that if the material duality of good and bad is minimized, people will become immoral or anarchistic. That is not the problem. The problem is that we are not godly. if we are godly, we will not misuse anything. We will use things as ordained by nature. If we follow nature's law, those who follow nature's law, they are always happy and satisfied, prosperous. Those who goes against nature will always be in want. So we can go on manipulating, and trying to fix this and fix that. They are all unnecessary struggle. Unnecessary struggle. Unnecessary because they will not give us the peace or the chance to look for our self-interest, which is Krishna consciousness. We'll not look for it. We'll not have time for it. We'll be very busy struggling with nature. So Prabhupada said, it is a struggle for existence. It is not happiness. It is a struggle for existence. A struggling person cannot be peaceful. Because it's a matter of passion. It's a struggle. Anxiety. One cannot be peaceful in so much anxiety. One is peaceful without anxiety. Yes. Still, a devotee should not have material anxiety. Devotees should have spiritual anxiety. And we will have spiritual anxiety only if we are spiritually developed. They can have only spiritual anxiety by thinking how to save the world from the danger which is happening now and coming ahead. Yes. Mundane piety is nothing, useless. Mundane piety is still useless. If one drink poison very nicely, it will act. Poison will not say, because he drink me very nicely, poison, it will act. If you drink it nicely, it will act. People sleep on a water bed, but they don't have peaceful rest. A dog is sleeping on the floor, they sleep peacefully. Even in the street, it's very peaceful. But someone is sleeping on a water bed, is an anxiety, not sleeping. You have to take pills. Dog doesn't take sleeping pills to sleep. But human beings on the top of water bed are taking pills before they sleep. And when the pills wears off, they come out with the same anxiety, the same thing. Without Krishna consciousness or God consciousness, people cannot understand the absolute position of spiritual goodness. Instead, they artificially try to construct a civilization based on interdependent self-interest on the same material platform. The same material platform. With God consciousness, one can become free. Yes. My dear Buddha, although all material bodies are composed of the same 5 elements and are all thus equal, the Vedic literatures conceive of different names and forms in relation to such bodies, so that the living entities may achieve their goal of life. To make the difference, so we can take that which is really necessary for us and leave aside all unnecessary things. The words Nam Rupani Visamani refer to the system of Varnashram Dharma, in which it's number 6, text 6, in which members of human society are designated according to 4 social and 4 occupational divisions. These are necessary. The divisions are necessary. And the Krishna himself personally created it to give us a division so we can function. This is not spiritual, but it is material. It is material to help us do something which is necessary for our progress. Without Varanashram, one cannot make progress spiritual. Only with Varanashram institution that one can have a headway. Why is it necessary? Because we will be put in our position. We put in our position to function. That is the reason why Krishna created, according to guna and karma. Everyone is controlled by the mode of nature. And because of the mode of nature controlling us, our activities have been designated according to the mode which controls us. So based on this, Krishna arranged the society so we can function properly. A Brahmana has sense control, self-control nature. That's a Brahmana. Therefore, he is automatically the head. A Kshatriya cannot lead because he's not in goodness. He has no control. Look, our society, the whole society is like our body. Our body had 4 departments. The whole society is also 4 departments. This is based on the mode that governs us. And our activities are prescribed exactly. By functioning in that way, we'll get promotion. If a Sudra is the beginning of civilization, civilization begins from Sudra, not less. Mlecha, Javana, Abiras, Kasas, Polinas, Kiratas, and lower than Sudra. So Sudra position is very elevated, very elevated. Because that's the beginning of civilization, the beginning of human life. Human life begins here. Of course, these days we don't see even Brahmana having the quality of Sudras. It's not there. Sudras are very truthful and clean, truthful, and are very loyal to the master. A Sudra does not leave the master. Today we are leaving the master. If there is any discrepancy, we leave the master. Right? Any little discrepancy, when I married my husband, he was a rich man. Now you're not my husband because you're not a rich man again, so you're not a husband. Right? Oh, when I married my wife, she was so beautiful, but now she had an accident and one eye is gone. She's not my wife again. Not my wife again. This is not the wife. This is not the husband. My husband was a very rich man. Where is that quality? A Sudra does not see this. Whatever you are, that is where I am. There's quality, Sudra. What is it today? It's not there. We're calculating based on what is presently. What is present. Not the quality. We are looking at the present. So, a person who has no character, with demonic, have displaced so many people's life, becomes wealthy, we have many followers. But those days, your position is questionable. People look at you. How did you get here wealth? Before people follow. This is gone. So Varnashram system organize our life in such a way that by following that we make advancement. A Sudra who serves the master very carefully, even if the master is demonic, but he served the master very nicely. He get promotion automatically because he's functioning based on the teachings of the scripture. Somebody asked me, where did Mandodari go? Mandodari.
Ravan's.
Yeah, where did he go? Husband is a demon, so where does he go? Have you calculated the stars? To say the planets, I'm going to check it. Somebody asked me the question. Now I'm asking you, please tell me. Where does he go?
These devotees must be in a good position. Because her name is also there where we recite 5 ladies who are pious and chaste women. Her name is there.
So where does he go?
Where does she go? Lord Ram.
Yes. Just recently, what he asked me the question. Tell me, check the stars now. Look at the planet. Where he went. Where does he go? Being with the demon for lifetime. Where does he go? Yeah, these are the things we should think. When we read the scripture, this is what you should think. Not just taking something on the first service and just speak and now a bandit. No. This is what develops the mind. Yes. One who associates was the argument between Vishnu Dutas and Yamadutas. Jamila was living with is prostitute till death. So you're not qualified for hell. Yeah, it's qualified for hell. But Vishnu Dutta said no. You don't understand what's a religion. You understand? The question he asked me yesterday.
Right.
Yeah. Which one is religion? A person is staying with a prostitute till death. Is that religion? Is that piety? Is that auspicious? So, but the Yamaduta couldn't take him to hell. They couldn't take him to hell. Vishnu said, what? What are you doing? You don't know what is religion? Yeah, we know what is religion. Our master is religion personified. He's to go to hell. Go and ask your master the question. What is religion? What? A person who lives with a prostitute that is irreligious has to go to hell. Vishnu Dutta says he chanted Narayan throughout his life while he's living with prostitute. He chanted Narayan throughout. You did not see that. So his life is like a snake without fangs. How poisonous is that snake? Is it poisonous? So Ajamila is sinless. Because he has been chanting Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. So if he is so pure, what is he doing with prostitute? That was the perplexity. That was the perplexity. What is Mandodari doing with the demon? Says with the demon out of duty. Don't forget. Doing our prescribed duty brings purification. So she didn't go to hell like the husband. Yes, she didn't go to hell. She has to go up. Yes. Because of her religious position. First of all, she accepted Ramachandra as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Division led because he's a man, but she cannot live, so she stayed as a duty. So in all circumstances, she acted perfectly. Therefore, she is pure, like you said, one of the celebrated chess ladies in the history. Therefore, she is perfect. Understand? Okay. So, Varnashram is important, it should be followed. It should be followed. In our ISKCON, is it not there? Varnashram, is it not here? Household, Brahmachari, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. What is that? Ashram. That is ashram. Yes. The Vedic system is designed by the Lord so that conditioned souls may pursue their individual achievements and at the same time advance towards the ultimate goal of life, which is Krishna consciousness. This is Varnashram purpose. This is the purpose of Varnashram. Just as a doctor deals with a crazy man by speaking to him sympathetically in terms of his false conception of life, one who understands the Vedic literature engages the living entities according to their illusory identification with the elements of matter. Text 6, purport. Text 6, purport. I'm in the middle. I'm taking where it goes with the point. This is where I'm taking. I jump from the beginning. If you understand Bhagavatam, then you can follow. You can flow. This is his study. Although all material bodies are composed of the same material elements and are thus qualitatively identical as described here by the word Sameshu, the Vedic social system, Varnashrama, is created to engage all human beings in Krishna consciousness according to their various degrees of material identification. Yes. But Varnashram, who will know what to do? In the material world, if trading on cloth makes someone rich, everybody will start trading on cloth. Right? So when you go to market, you see the whole community doing the same thing. Right? From indoor to Ujjain. By the roadside, the long queue. Everybody was roasting corn by the roadside. So my man was thinking, would they sell all this thing every day? All of them were roasting this every day. There were maybe more than 100,000 people. They all are roasting corn for sale by the passengers. So I was thinking, so they was, all of them, they will sell all this in their roasting every day like this. That's the occupation for everybody in that place. And then the other side, coconut out. For coconut, they can stay for a few days. What about the corn which you roasted? You cannot sell it tomorrow. So that is what people are doing. If someone is a musician and become popular, yeah, everybody should become musicians, right? Make money. But you make money, what about happiness? What about happiness? All the rich people that are happy? The importance of Varnashram is when you do something according to your nature, it may not be necessarily very, very rich, but be happy with the little you have. Because that goes with your nature. But when we jump to someone's age profession and you do that, you can become very famous, you can become also very wealthy, but what of the bliss, the happiness, the peace inside? You don't have it. That is not known. That is not known. So Varnashram is composed, and that is why Prabhupada said, what I did not do is to establish this. If I had time more, I would have done this. Because it's very important, very important. You see? Although all material bodies are composed of the same material elements and are thus qualitatively identical as described here by the word Sameshu, the Vedic social system, Varnashram, is created to engage all human beings in Krishna consciousness. How? According to their various degrees of material identification. The absolute good is the Supreme Lord Himself, and that which approaches the Supreme Lord becomes similarly good. Do you understand? Huh? You get it? Bhagavad Gita 4:24. What is that? Bhagavad Gita 4:24. Chapter 4, text 24. You understand the verse? Brahmarapanam Brahma Havir Brahmagno Brahma Hutan Brahmaiba Tena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. Do you understand? The absolute good is the Supreme Lord Himself, and that which approaches the Supreme Lord becomes also good. A person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness is sure to attain the spiritual kingdom because of his full contribution to spiritual activities, in which the consummation is absolute. That which is offered is of the same spiritual nature. Because the sun is the source of heat within this world, an object that approaches the sun becomes hotter and hotter until it merges into fire. You understand? Varnashram is to connected with Krishna, and when we are connected with Krishna, what will become our experience? We will also develop Krishna's qualities, right? We develop Krishna's qualities. Krishna is Satchidananda Vigraha, so also develop this quality. This question said, Idam Dhyanam Upashritya. You take shelter of this knowledge, you will enter into my nature. Varnashram is to help us to get connected with Krishna, to enter into Krishna's nature. What else do we want? Eh? What do you want? What else? Something? Because the sun is a source of heat within this world. An object that approaches the sun becomes hotter and hotter until it merges into fire. In the same manner, as we approach the transcendental nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we automatically become surcharged with absolute goodness. We develop Krishna's qualities. Although this knowledge is the real basis of the Vedic literature, mundane piety is enjoined and sin is prohibited so that one can gradually come to the platform of material goodness, whereupon spiritual knowledge becomes visible. All right, Hare Krishna. Any comments?
As you mentioned in Ajami's story that Vishnu Dutta said that he is sinless.
Yes.
Because of the holy names which he chanted.
Mm-hmm.
So we understand the glories of holy name that way. But the other side is that it is one of the offenses to have a sinful life while you are chanting the holy name.
Yes.
So then how do we understand the difference?
Ajamila did Namabas, not Namaparad. His chanting was Namabas, not Namaparad. What is Namaparad? Today is Ekadasi. Okay. I will break principle and I will chant 64 rounds and pray to Jagannath. That is Namaparad. Namabas, he simply called his son. It was his son he called. No intentional. That is Namabas. There's no offense here. There's no offense here. That is why Namabas. It's not motivated by sinful intent. It is not. So there's difference. If one is practicing Krishna consciousness, okay, I know the principle. The sin which I command in the Ekadasi by Ekadasi austerity, so I can do sinful thing and fast in the Ekadasi, that is offense. And that goes against the normal seven. To commit offense is no strength of changing the holy name. Because of offense. Ajamila was outside this.
So that means the practicing devotees who, out of their weakness, if they are committing some mistakes, that is Namapas.
Yes, if by someone's weakness, weakness is not something we do with pride.
Yeah.
Those who do not justify their weakness, they don't justify the weakness. And Prabhu, don't judge me, sadhu ever. Don't judge me, sadhu ever. They won't get the benefit because they are whimsical. Weakness is someone who feels bad. I'm doing something. He condemns himself really from the heart. Krishna is sitting here, he knows everything. He knows. He's sitting here. He's the one who will detect everything for us. So there's nothing which is not known to him. He knows our intent. So there's difference. Weakness and desperate, deliberate activities. and use the scripture to support. That's demonic. Yes, the devotee is weak, and he identified that weakness and feeling bad about it and praying seriously for strength. You get help. You get help.
This last line, that one can gradually come to the platform of material goodness whereupon spiritual knowledge becomes visible.
Yes.
So, with this, what I understood is, with our sadhana, tapasya, we come to the material goodness, but the spiritual knowledge, your spiritual experience become visible. What is that thing?
We start to appreciate Krishna consciousness. At this stage, we are appreciating Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness become meaningful in our life. Yes. We put our effort in there. We understand what to do. Why I should be a devotee? Why should I be a devotee? I should be Krishna conscious. At this stage, we'll appreciate that. And then we can practice it nicely. And the other thing we were discussing yesterday, gradually come to this stage.
So those who are like in temple also, we see visible means that bliss is visible. I mean, what you mentioned, but ultimately it's Satchidananda. But that what we want to experience, that bliss.
That is not the issue. That is not the issue. We'll be appreciating Krishna consciousness before we come to that Satchidananda level. We are practicing Krishna consciousness because we are told to do this. Okay, we are doing that. But we have not realized it. It is not about decision yet. By doing this, we'll get purified and come to the stage that, okay, yes.
We are convinced.
Yes. We are doing it now, deliberately. Not because, okay, authorities has to chant. So if there is no day to, they won't chant. Now we have come to the stage where either someone is watching or not watching you. This is what I want to do. You do it. Because now you have gotten the purification to understand this. So it becomes visible, it becomes recognized, becomes known. So now we know the purpose. So if we are Christian conscious purpose driven, many of us are not. We're not Christian purpose driven. For so many reasons we are here. For those who are Christian purpose driven, their practice will be different. Determination will be different. Understanding is different. The progress will be different. When Gadadhara Pandit came to see Pundarik Vidyanidhi, when he looked at him, he said, the devotion you are practicing is showing in your life. So it's showing in your life. It's shining because of the devotional service he's practicing. Look at him. Because he's purpose driven and nothing can take it away. So he's fixed. And that is why he could see a sense gratifier cannot be a pure devotee. What am I saying? All right.
As you mentioned, distributing grains on Ekadashis is very dangerous, not a pious activity. But in my village, people feed grains to birds every day, even on Ekadashis. Is that right?
For birds it's okay, but not for human beings. Animals don't have rules and regulations. For human beings we have rules and regulations. Therefore, to give human beings grains is very dangerous. It's not piety, it's not religion. Demonic.
Hare Krishna, dear Shri Gurudev, Dandavat Pranam. In continuation to your answer on weakness, if we try to keep our internal dialogue positive despite our mistakes, weaknesses, but we do completely, we are at mistake and need to rectify while diligently working on our weakness by reminding ourselves. Does such mentality help or is it whimsical?
Oh, that is good. That is good. That is where we get the help. When one is constantly feeling remorseful about one's weakness, and we are trying to, we're seriously praying for help and working towards that, we get help. This is positive. We're thinking, well, this is my karma, so there's nothing I can do. That is dangerous mentality. No. We have been given chance. We have been given chance to rise above weaknesses. We get help with this kind of mentality. Very good. We should keep the mentality. Praying, we are begging, feeling bad about our situation. So it's very good. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.